everyone. Welcome to Real Talk. We're going to be talking about real estate, real life, real fun, and real conversation. I'm here today with Shannon McCarthy, my dear friend from Tom Ferry. Shannon, we spent a lot of time together.
We sure have.
I know. So thank you so much for joining Real Talk today. So Shannon, why don't you
me.
tell everybody who you are and where you are?
Okay. So my name is Shannon McCarthy. I lead a team of 15 agents in Saratoga Springs, New York. And we are on track to sell around 200 million in real estate this year. That works out to be about 350 homes.
So you crush it. You crush
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
We have an operational team of about 5 people.
So you have about 5 more agents than I do. You guys have a lot going on, new construction. We're going to talk about your luxury hotel, condos, which is super exciting. And we're really going to go deep into how you lead, what you suggest, and then have a little bit of fun also. So Shannon,
Awesome.
As you said, you sell about 350 homes a year with your team, which is incredible. You are still in production like I am.
Yes.
Yes. So you work with buyers and sellers?
Yes.
Okay. So I know these answers, but I'm just going to help you guys all, get caught up here. So Shannon, tell us about Saratoga, where it is, why it's so popular. I mean, I know where it is because I'm from upstate New York, and also your favorite things about the area.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm born and raised in Saratoga Springs, which is a very beautiful town about 3 hours north of New York City. We're kind of close to the Vermont border. We're about halfway up the state. So, eastern side of the state. And Saratoga is a very famous area. Many people know it because of its world-class thoroughbred horse racing,
Correct. Yep.
which happens every summer in August. It brings tons of tourists from all over the world. And outside of that, it's just a really vibrant, beautiful city in the foothills of the Adirondacks. So you have obviously access to major cities like, train ride to New York City is 3 hours. You can be in Montreal in 3 hours. You can be in Boston in 3 hours. But you have access to, the whole Adirondack Park and wonderful lakes. And it's just a really beautiful, vibrant, self-sufficient city with a really great downtown and some really awesome restaurants.
Yeah, your downtown is really beautiful. I mean, I've spent quite a bit of time in Saratoga, growing up and outside of Binghamton. My sister-in-law lives in Utica, as you know. And you also sell in Lake George community.
We do. Yeah, we actually have a team here in Saratoga Springs. And we also have a team in Lake George, which is, one of the most beautiful lakes in the country, super famous glacier lake, just a beautiful, gorgeous area.
Yeah.
So we do serve both areas.
I love a lake. We've talked about that too, right? Lake views.
Yep.
So you run the team. You live in Saratoga, obviously, born and raised, as you said. What are your favorite things about Saratoga?
So, I love just being able to walk around town. I am currently in my office right now. It's walkable to my home. You can also just, walk right downtown to Saratoga Springs, and there's wonderful shops and restaurants. And, there's just really a lot to do year round. And that is just so special with it also being such a, artistic town with, a wonderful art scene, lots of culture. The New York City Ballet comes here every summer, the Philadelphia Orchestra. Of course, you have SPAC, which has some really wonderful concerts
Yep,
come.
been there, done that. Yes.
Yeah, great parks, great walking. Just a really kind of like a nice lifestyle, which growing up here, I didn't appreciate. It wasn't until I, moved out of the area and then came back and just really now as an adult, just really appreciate the great quality of life that you get here. And also all the fun things there are to do. So
Yeah.
summertime, it really comes alive and there's tons of tourists and, that actually helps support the town as a whole. So you have some of the best restaurants and best shops and things like that, because of course you have the tourism, which allows for that type
Right.
of business to be able to thrive here.
So 2 things. You are currently in a home, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And you're packing.
Yes.
Yes. And you're moving,
Yes.
which is fun and not fun. You've learned a lot, you told me the other day on the phone. So you
Yes.
were, based on your success, had the opportunity to help a developer with an amazing luxury hotel that's also residential. So let's talk about the Adelphi.
Yeah. So the Adelphi Hotel is really the crown jewel hotel of downtown Saratoga Springs. It really came into its own in the 1800s when people were coming here for obviously the thoroughbred horse racing, and there are tons of beautiful Victorian homes. This is a beautiful Victorian um, built, with Victorian architecture. And they recently have switched ownership and went through a major renovation. And then the building next door, the Rip Van Dam, became available. And so the owners of the Adelphi Hotel decided to develop the adjacent building and then create this amazing luxury hotel condo lifestyle. So people that are going to be residents of this new concept will have all of the access to all the amenities of the hotel. So it's really kind of like sort of modeled after the Ritz-Carlton
Correct.
residences
Yep.
and properties like that, which is really not, kind of unheard of here in Saratoga Springs, but the developers have based it off of that concept. And so it's a really, really, really exciting project.
And you thought, what the heck? I'll buy one.
Might as well, once I heard from the developers, Larry Roth and Michael Dubb, about this project and really learned about their vision for the project, I immediately knew that I had to be a part of it and I needed to become a resident myself. So, convinced my husband Chris to end up moving there. And I have to tell you, I think every real estate agent should move every few years to just remember
I
what our
think it's
clients
okay
are
if we
going
don't.
through.
I think we can just learn from our clients. I have no desire. My attic terrifies me, let me tell you. So, no, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, it is terrifying to move for
Now,
sure.
how
And it's so
many
much work.
condos are in the Adelphi?
So we have a total of 79 apartments, and there are lots of different floor plans to choose from. We have um, studios, we have junior one bedrooms, we have two bedrooms, we have three-bedroom apartments, and we even have two-story penthouse duplexes that are absolutely stunning, that are overlooking Broadway.
Yeah, the
Really,
design is beautiful. I mean, you've done such an amazing job marketing these properties. Your videos are on point, so I would highly recommend that you check it out. Shannon, I don't want to forget, how can they follow you on social media?
so you can find us at the Shannon McCarthy team on Instagram and at Adelphi Residences on Instagram as
Yeah.
well.
And then your Facebook page.
At the Shannon McCarthy team.
Okay, great. Yeah. So does an amazing job in social media, but that's another conversation for another day. So you're moving this weekend.
Yes, moving
Yes.
this weekend, boxes everywhere, just going through things, throwing things, away, and trying to figure out what I'm going to donate and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's all going down this weekend.
That's so exciting. Um, we do talk quite often. So I've heard about this process and the decorating and the excitement, and also, trying to figure out what the best thing is to do when you're also running a business and selling and taking care of everything. So you and I are both hiring, which we've been talking about. And I wanted to go a little deeper in that and ask you, when you're hiring a new agent, what is one or two pieces of advice that you would give someone who's thinking about getting into the real estate industry?
Yeah, so, I think there's a big misconception that real estate is easy.
Yeah.
I think that, there's a lot of shows about real estate that sort of make it look very glamorous and very easy, but this industry is extremely hard. It's very competitive. And, I think if you're brand new to the business, or if you are in a position where, you don't want to actually build all the systems and processes, I think a team is a great way to go. It really helps to be around people that know the way, that can show you the way. And it really kind of allows you as a newer agent to light fire on your business and make it go faster. So I think associating with a team, associating with a mentor, someone that can really show you the way and that you can kind of plug into is really going to allow you to ramp up a lot faster than if you kind of go at it alone or you kind of go at it with a brokerage that may not be able to really spend the time with you to kind of get you going.
Yeah. I was talking, I mean, we've talked a lot about this because I've talked to you and I've seen you. I always say that, one of the things that I feel is we see so much opportunity and like potential in a new agent, but we also can't want it for them more than they want it for themselves. I was speaking on our huddle this morning and I told the team that they have to remember I am their number one cheerleader. We will do whatever it takes to help them get that deal, but they also have to work hard. It's a hard business. And as you said, Netflix makes it look a little bit easier. And it's not just showing one house and someone picks one out of three.
Exactly. No, there's so much more to it, and there's so much perseverance that you have to have. And I think people a lot of times end up giving up a little too soon because it does take so much perseverance to really get it going. And, that is something that if you, as a brand new agent, if you give yourself some time and you really understand that it's going to take a while to build a business, then, the sky's the limit. But if your expectations are what you see on TV, it's very, very far away from that. So, I think that's where a lot of agents end up giving up.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about what you think is the biggest mistake that newer agents or actually agents in the business 1 or 2 years make. Besides working hard and not giving up, is there something that you think is really important that comes to your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I think as a new agent, it's so important to understand that it takes a lot of time. So, if you're going to be going into the business, understanding that your first year in the business, you're going to be learning a lot and you're going to be ramping yourself up. So you might not really make a lot of or any money at all in your
Mhm.
first year. So having that nest egg, having that plan of how you're going to be able to support yourself and how you're going to be able to, invest yourself fully into the industry because, you can't really dabble. You really have to go all in. So understanding what your capabilities are in terms of, how am I going to survive? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to make this work? All while, really digging in and giving it all you have and understanding that it's going to take time.
And also the ups and downs. They are brutal. They can be
Yes.
brutal. Someone said to me today, when do you think the next downturn is going to be in the real estate market? And I was like, I don't know. We don't know that specifically. I mean, our inventory is a little bit different than yours. I always say it's physically impossible really for our inventory to catch up overnight. So that will make a big difference. But with rates going down, that's going to bring out more buyers. What do you think really drives your market, Shannon? Is it the normal Ds? Unfortunately, divorce, death, diplomas, babies, which is great. What drives your market, do you feel?
Yeah, same thing. I think it's life changes, right? Like
Yep.
people, get married, they have babies, they retire and they, like move to a better climate, right?
Yes.
So there's a lot of
You are
that.
a little chillier than Jersey. Not
A
that
little,
much.
winters are a little rough up here. So yeah, there's that factor. But and a lot of people will come to Saratoga Springs for vacation or maybe their kids go to college in the area and they just really fall in love with this
Yeah, it is
area. So
beautiful. I do want to
I do.
talk about the racetrack. So people are
Yeah.
like, oh, you have a racetrack. And I've been there quite a few times. I don't know if you know one of my boyfriends back in high school, like not after high school, but after high school, like his family would go up. So shout out to that. But I, private jets, like it's big time. So let's talk about that. It's money.
Yeah. Yeah, so horse racing, sport of kings, as they say, it's really an elite sport. And Saratoga Springs is home to a lot of major New York bred horse farms, trainers, and people in the industry. So, and horses fly in from all over the world to race at Saratoga. It is definitely probably, one of the top most prestigious tracks in the world. And it is it brings in lots of people from all kinds of different walks of life will come to the track to enjoy the horse racing. You've got from the backyard, which is really kind of like, roll your coolers in and dress casual. And then of course you have, the very, very luxurious boxes that a lot of the horse owners and trainers will watch the races from, and everything in between. So it really does bring sort of a very fun atmosphere. And, of course, people are here for the gambling. And then, of course, we have the horse sales, which happen every year at Fasig-Tipton. Lots of celebrities come to that to actually, buy thoroughbred horses
Yeah.
that, I think a horse traded this year for over $3 million.
Yeah.
So,
I
it's just amazing, what the town turns into every track season. And
yeah.
it's just, you just have to come. You just have to see it to appreciate it. It's so fun.
Yeah. And it does go from being a really wholesome, amazing town to being like party fun central.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yes. I
I
mean,
love that, first of all. Let's
yes.
talk about
Caroline
your,
Street
yeah, let's talk
is
about your
where all the
price point.
partying's
Where all the
happening.
parties,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's
Yeah.
talk about your price point. So your
Okay.
price point in houses, now I can't even talk. You cover a large territory.
Yes.
So let's talk about your price points, your
Okay.
range.
Yeah, so, in the capital region of New York, we still have like an average sales price. You can still get a home here, in the $300,000 range, right? So, as you go closer to downtown Saratoga Springs, the average price point probably goes up. You're more like in the mid sixes and, up from there. And then of course, like up in, the Lake George area, if you want a property on Lake George, you're going to kind of start around 2 million and then go, upwards toward $10 million for a home that's directly on Lake George. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of diversity in this market. You absolutely can, grab a starter home in the $300,000 range and, start your real estate journey as a first time home buyer. And, like you said, we cover a huge territory. We're probably in about 5 counties. So since we're not as densely populated as some of our,
New Jersey people.
neighboring areas, it definitely is, we're in our cars a lot, we're driving around a lot, and covering a lot of geography.
And you have a lot of Saratoga Springs is historical also. So you
Yes.
have a lot of historical homes in the main downtown area. So it's charming, fun, and, just like so many different things to do.
Yeah, the architecture is amazing. There's a lot of beautiful Victorians that, the town really kind of came of age in the 1800s. It sort of became very popular because of the springs, which were, healing waters in the
Yeah.
1800s. So there was a big boom around then. So, my home that I currently live in right now is built in 1870. And there's just nothing like these cool old homes, right? They've got so much character and charm.
And now you're going to
And
brand new, contemporary, moody vibe, right?
yep, exactly.
Spicing it
Trying
up a
something
little bit,
new.
little bit.
Yeah, doing the condo life now. So we'll see.
Yeah, you'll see. So we talked about, what the price point is of your home, of the homes in your area. Obviously, you have agents that work along your side, just like mine. They can list homes and also work with buyers. Obviously, the goal of realtors is to become a listing machine, right? I mean, that really is the best way to grow your business and continue becoming more and more successful every year. What do you feel is a couple great tips to tell buyer agents that want to start becoming a listing agent?
I would say, if you're primarily working with buyers, understanding that those buyers eventually will turn into sellers, and making sure that you're taking really good care of those buyers as you're working with them so that they can refer you to, their friends and family. I would also say, like, if you're on a team and your team is, listing properties, it's always great to be involved with that listing launch and, really try to get out there in that neighborhood and get the word out about that property, knock on doors around the neighborhood, make some phone calls in that neighborhood, let people know about that property that your team is listing or your brokerage is listing, and, invite them to come and look at the house and, really kind of get to know who those neighbors are, because we all know as real estate agents that typically what happens is once somebody in the neighborhood sells, there's going to be a couple more people that
Correct.
are actually starting the process of thinking about moving themselves, whether they're downsizing, whether they're relocating, or maybe they're thinking about having another child, or maybe their kids are going away to college and they don't need the space anymore. So I think really thinking about it that way will help people really kind of develop more of a listing inventory if they really think about it in a strategic way of how they could actually prospect to, talk to other people in that neighborhood and just find out who's thinking about selling.
So we heard a tip or a suggestion when we were at a Tom Ferry retreat saying that somebody has the neighbors sign a
Mhm.
card, right? When the buyers buy a house, so you get a card from your neighbors welcoming them to your neighborhood. So the agent goes around, knocks on the door and says, "Hi, Sally's moving into the house across the street from you. Would you sign a welcome card?" And one of my agents did it the other day. She got 13 signatures from the neighborhood. And she said
Wow.
people were so nice. They talked your ear off. So there is so many different things you can do, but it's really showing love and value. That's really
Yeah,
it. If you're not loving your
action
clients,
action solves everything,
oh my,
right? So
did you see? Oh, so funny. I did that about my huddle this morning. I did it. And I said, action solves everything. It's so true.
it
Did you
really,
see that yesterday on Tom Ferry's Instagram? I know,
yep,
right? Yep. That's where I got the huddle idea this morning.
good reminder.
It is. Well, it's so true. And it doesn't have to be huge things. It's the little tiny things that build up consistency that actually make the action happen. But it's
Yeah.
consistency. You just can't do things one off and think it's going to turn into magic. No. All right. So I mentioned coaching Tom Ferry. So that's how we met, which I'm
Yes.
so thankful for. So why do you love coaching?
So, coaching's amazing. It really, my business really started to take off as soon as I got involved in coaching. That was around, let's see, 2019 was when, I decided to align with Tom Ferry. That's when I met you. And of course, that was like right before, um, the pandemic. So it really, having someone that is, your coach and Tom himself that is really kind of at the forefront of what's happening in the industry and kind of see around the corner and help you understand what's coming is just one of the many benefits of it. But I think, aligning yourself with other agents, like you that I met through Tom Ferry, and being able to say like, hey, we're kind of going through the same thing. We have the same struggles. We're working toward building, a big business, and being able to kind of talk out what you're working on and pull ideas from other people that are doing what you're looking to do has really kind of allowed me to get from where I was, which was kind of more plateaued, to where I am now, which, my business has just exploded since I got involved in coaching. So, and a lot of it has to do with, mindset and understanding tactical, actionable things that we can do to not only improve our business, but, operationally what's most efficient, and, how do we, grow, and how do we deal with problems that come up, and how do we hire and train and support our agents and do all the things that we need to do to
And
really get
sell,
from where we are to where we want to go.
and sell,
Yes.
and
And
sell,
sell.
and sell.
Yes.
So you are more analytical than I am. You love data sheets and you love operations. I love marketing and selling. So we do blend well with each other. So let's talk about masterminds. So we're in a mastermind on Tuesday mornings at 7:30 a.m., which is a
Yep.
little early. We talk about marketing, but we also talk about many different things, whether someone's having a problem, also really sharing ideas. The other day we talked about our pies that we give out to our clients. You also do pies, whether it's client parties. Why do you think the masterminds are so important?
Yeah, the masterminds are amazing. I feel like I have been able to, avoid a lot of mistakes that I could have made by, learning from, you and Mary and Joy and Michael and, our other mastermind people that have already done things that I've wanted to do. And they're like, they'll give us real life examples of, hey, this was a really good, postcard that we did, or when we had an event, we did this and it worked out really well. So I think it helps with like the trial and the error side of things so that you can lean on people that have already done what you're looking to do. And then it just makes it go a lot faster.
Well,
Makes
also, I
you,
think it grounds you a little bit too. You get off the call and you feel like you're a little bit more in check with everything because the people you're speaking with do really understand. They get you. You're not on the island of misfit toys, right? You're sharing the ideas back and forth. We were doing a mastermind, which I love, like an accountability, like this is the stuff I want to get done this week. I really like that also because it's project based. And if you have a project going on, I think it's the biggest thing that we lack is time, right? If we could have a full 24 hours, I would say when everybody else is sleeping, can you imagine how great that would be, right? Because you could get so much done. So, I think coaching is ideas and mindset is really what it comes down to.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's, understanding what's working, figuring out, how to kind of get out of your head. And, as somebody who tends to be a little bit more analytical, it helps me move a little bit faster, and helps me feel a little bit more confident with the decisions that I'm making.
Yeah, we're not
And
crazy.
right,
Yeah, and if we are acting crazy, someone will say, "Hey, you're being a nut job. Stop being crazy."
exactly,
No, am I
exactly.
being crazy? Yes, you are
Yes,
being crazy. And I do
yep,
love that. It's the honest conversations or,
yes,
just stop worrying and move on. But
yep,
everyone's so kind and surround yourself with like-minded people. And also you
absolutely.
are the sum of the people you hang out with. And I think that is my biggest takeaway with coaching.
Oh
So
yeah,
we have mindset, we have ideas, but we also have fun.
yes.
Yes. So Shannon and I love to go out for dinner together and maybe some lunches. So Shannon, why do you love restaurants like just like as much as I do? Like what's your why? What's going on with that?
I love the whole experience of dining, I always have. I love experiencing, time with my friends and, being able to have great conversations with them and also experiencing really nice restaurants. And, part of it goes into like also my love for travel, going to new cities and, visiting, great restaurants and having great food and wine and being with friends and family is definitely like almost like a hobby of mine. I just enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
So,
Now, do you
it's just kind of,
care if it's like a dive bar or fancy? Like I'm into anything.
I love it all,
Yeah.
I absolutely love it
I do
all. I
well, I
mean,
do love it all, but they better have Chardonnay. Yeah,
absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, I love going to a dive bar and I'll have maybe one beer, but come on, people. I need a glass and I need white wine.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That's definitely a non-negotiable.
yeah,
Yes.
definitely. So, do you remember? So, one of our favorite, well, we have a lot of favorite restaurants together, but one of our favorite is in Dallas because our coach, Tom Ferry, is based out of Dallas, is the Monarch.
Oh,
I can't. Right? Just want to sleep
amazing.
there. Yeah.
Oh,
So, do you
amazing.
remember what our waiter said to us when we were there a couple months ago? When he's like, "Hi," let's say his name's Fred. "Hi, my name's Fred. I am the captain of your experience." And I was like, this, what? I want someone to call them the captain of my experience, like every place I go. The service was exceptional. And we always share too, which I love that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want to try everything, you know.
Yes.
I love all kinds of different types of food. So for me, that's why like I love going out to dinner with you because we can get a couple things and try different things. So
And
yeah,
we
I love
kind
to
of
try.
do eat similar food. Can you share with Chris, your husband?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
He's a little bit more or less adventurous than I am, so you know, but he definitely I can get him to pretty much try anything.
yeah.
So
George and I really don't share because he does raw. I don't really like raw. And he does spicy. Can't do spicy. So, but you do raw and spice, right?
I do.
Oh,
Yep.
you're just a better sharer than George Peters, I guess that's what it comes down to. So,
Yeah.
what's your number one favorite restaurant you've ever been to? Anywhere.
Okay, so locally here in Saratoga Springs, I would say Solivo is probably the best restaurant in Saratoga Springs. Italian, family owned, amazing food. If you're ever in Saratoga Springs, definitely recommend it. Book a reservation, sit at the bar. It's just a really just fantastic restaurant. It's just great service, great vibes. That's probably my favorite in Saratoga.
And then other places.
Oh man, that's a big one. You know, there's just so many amazing restaurants that I've been to. I mean, some of the best restaurants that I've ever been to in the world are definitely in Italy.
Yeah, I've never been to Italy. It's on the goal sheet.
That place lives up to the hype when it comes to food. I
Yeah,
mean, just amazing, amazing, amazing food. Really just some of the best that I've ever had. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many great
there are so
restaurants.
many.
It's
So
it's
many
really hard.
restaurants to go to, Shannon. So, well, thank you so much for joining me on Real Talk. I saw
Thank
you in
you.
September and October. I don't think I'll see you in November, but
No.
I will see you soon, my friend. Thanks so much, everybody. Thank you, Shannon, and have a great day. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.